I stood at the polished oak table, glass in hand, the chandelier throwing fractured light across his face. My father, older now, slower, but still carrying the same disdain that had once cut me open like a blade. He was waiting for me to speak, expecting deference, perhaps a plea. Instead, I let silence breathe between us, the kind that stretches and strangles, because tonight he would finally learn the truth. I was 19 when he ended me. "Rachel, you're not up to the standards of this family," he said, his voice stripped of warmth, as if he were reciting a business memo. "You embarrass us. Pack your things, leave." No argument, no hesitation, just exile. My mother averted her eyes. My brothers murked faintly, enjoying the spectacle. And I, young, trembling, walked out carrying nothing but a suitcase and the sound of the door locking behind me. That was the day I buried my name. 4 years I drifted, jobs that barely paid rent, nights on worn couches. I kept hearing his voice, replaying it until it hardened into fuel. Failure, embarrassment. Those words became teeth biting me awake every morning. But I didn't fight it with rage. I fought with silence, patience, calculation, because I knew something he never considered. The child you throw away does not disappear. She sharpens. It started with education. I clawed my way through scholarships, studied markets, law, loopholes. Every piece of knowledge became a brick in the fortress I was building. And then luck, or maybe fate, handed me the first crack in his empire. A company tied to his investments was drowning under scandal. I knew the right hands to shake, the right files to pull. I stayed in the shadows, gathering, positioning. Piece by piece, I began dismantling the scaffolding of his wealth. Quietly, invisibly, he thought the enemy was outside. He never looked back at the daughter he disowned. By 30, I had my own firm, my own board, my own reputation carved from grit and blood. Still, I stayed low, a ghost circling his world, until one day the moment came. A tender bid, the acquisition that would decide his company's future. He walked into the boardroom, certain of victory. And there I was, sitting at the head of the table. The flicker in his eyes, recognition mixed with disbelief, was almost enough. Almost, but not yet. I let him speak, let him pitch, let him sweat. When the papers were signed, his company, his crown jewel, bore my name. His empire folded beneath my hands like paper. Still, I waited because revenge is not about destruction. It's about timing. And so here we are tonight. My father sits across from me, stripped of power, watching me pour the wine he once told me I was unworthy to touch. My mother's chair is empty. She passed years ago. My brother, the heir, is not there either. He lost everything when the trust funds evaporated under my legal maneuvers. I don't say a word. I let him ask the questions. Finally, he does. Who? Who was behind all this? His voice cracks dry, and I meet his eyes, calm, unblinking. Your daughter, I say. The silence after is thick, suffocating. Hesteries, searching for a way out, for a denial, a loophole. But there isn't one. He knows, he feels it. I remind him of the day he cast me out, the words hused, the indifference in his tone. I describe without raising my voice every step I took. Education, strategy, acquisition. The way I peeled back his legacy piece by piece while he never noticed. His face collapses as sterilization sinks in. The empire he built wasn't stolen by rivals, wasn't undone by bad fortune. It was me, the girl he said wasn't worthy. And then I deliver the final blow. You didn't just lose your company. You lost your seat at the table. The board has appointed a new chairman. He leans forward, desperate. Who? I allow a small smile. Me, father, I took your place. His hand shakes around the glass. He doesn't drink. He can't. The weight of it all has already poisoned him more than the wine ever could. I stand calm, collected. You taught me I wasn't enough, I say, my voice steady. But tonight, you finally see I am more than enough. I'm everything you failed to be. I leave him there in that room of fractured light, surrounded by wealth he no longer owns, haunted by the truth he can't escape. Outside, the night air tastes clean. For the first time in years, I breathe without the bite of bitterness. Because revenge isn't fire. It isn't rage. It's quiet, precise, final. And as I walk away, I know this. The little girl he abandoned is gone. What remains is the woman who took his place,